On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah, man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Friday evening to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public, and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. So I gotta kick it off with some general knowledge, just informing the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora who is planning on traveling to Jamaica or back to Jamaica anytime soon. Now, a Jamaican man who visited the country over the Christmas break says that he was one of several people on its flight who was scammed by people selling declaration forms on bogus websites. Now in September, the Passport Immigration and Citizens Agency, that's PICA, introduced a new online C5 form that must be completed by persons visiting Jamaica. But since its introduction, some travelers have been swindled out of their money by people selling the forms on third-party websites. The new online C5 declaration form is available for free of charge on PICA's website. Now let me repeat. The new online C5 declaration form is available for free on PICA's website. However, since its introduction in September, unscrupulous individuals have created third-party websites through which they have scammed several travelers of their monies. Dr. Cade Green, who came into the country on Saturday, stated that he was a victim of the scam. Now we're going to hear from Dr. Cade Green as he relates. Listen.
I was kind of thinking for a while, why are they not charging for this? This was always free. You normally see the people on the flight and you give it to the immigration officers when you land. That aside, I went online and I filled out the documentation. It was an Enter Jamaica website. When I got to a particular point, they asked me to put in my credit card information stating that this was a $30 charge. I thought nothing too hard of it. But I filled out the information and put my card information in. And then I got a notification that I was charged $90 the other way on my card. Then I went to ask more questions. And while I was asking more questions, there was a whole lot of other Jamaicans in the line asking the same question. Because I think it was about quite a few of us on that flight that, got scammed pretty much. Because that's what we were told, was a scam. That we got scammed, whatever the situation was, that was not the website and we got scammed. Now, it was strange because I used the website that was sent to me by the airline, and everybody was saying the same thing, that it was Enter Jamaica. So what was going on, nobody was aware. So, they were telling us that we were all scammed and that this was something that's been going on for a while. One lady said that they took, I think, $600 from her account. Somebody else said they took another $90, and it was just a lot of people complaining that they were scammed. The change is good, but I thought that there should have been, a better campaign to inform people who, especially those of us who live in the diaspora, that there is a change and that it's free, because a lot of people didn't know that it's free. So I had to do the whole thing where I canceled my card. But then I had some family members that came in on Sunday, and I guess I didn't get a chance to communicate with some of them, and they also got scammed. And a friend of mine told me he picked up someone on Friday, that was the day before me, he picked up his sister, and she also got scammed. So I think that we need a better marketing campaign where they should be informing more people, because a lot of people who don't live here, they're not aware that this is an ongoing situation.
Now we're going to also hear from Director of Business Development and Communications at PICA, that's Keona Mackenzie. Listen.
If you have a one case, bring it to our attention. We are interested in hearing which side so that we can attack it immediately. We care about our travelers and we do not want any of our travelers to experience any inconvenience or by any means being scammed. So report the site to us and we will attack. When coming to Jamaica, your passenger declaration form must be completed online. It is 100% free. Enter jamaica.gov.jm. 100% free. Do not go on any site that is asking you for money. Remember, we need to protect our data. We need to protect our information. So therefore, if you are not sure where to go on the PICA website and click on the passenger declaration logo. It will take you directly to the government site, which is free.
Now, for those who never know, no. Now, let me give you an update as it relates to that double knockings and clappings that took the life of 2 persons over there in Yallas, St. Thomas, that I spoke briefly on this morning. Now, a man and a woman, as I stated earlier, lost their lives to the hands of criminal elements in a section of Yallas known as Newland Road. The man that lost his life has since been identified as a senior citizen, 71-year-old Valin Strachan, and his 70-year-old wife, Elizabeth Strachan. Reports reaching on the Spot News Media indicates that sometime around 8 p.m., residents heard loud explosions in the area and summoned the police. On the arrival of the police, they saw the 2 bodies laying in the yard. The female, the police said, was laying to the left side of the vehicle and clad in a red and white floral dress and black slippers. It is said that the male was laying beside a concrete wall and was clad in a blue shirt, full-length blue jeans and grey and burgundy shoes. A grey Toyota Axio was parked in the yard with the front passenger door open. The grill to the house was also opened with 2 open padlocks attached. The police stated that from information gathered, the couple lived alone in the house and regularly left and returned together. It is said that 3 spent casings were found after detectives processed the scene. Well, on the Spot News Media made some checks and did some diggings. It is said that the couple recently moved to the area. They are not necessarily residents, like long-standing residents of that community. It is said that a targeted hit was placed on the senior citizen's head over a land dispute. Yeah, man. Really sad, my peeps. 70, that means that them people there has lived through some sort of things in a Jamaica. And if you come lose them 3 pints because of some land, boy, I mean, I know. The thing rough. So right now, I'm just stating that family members should not be looking too far, but actually be looking within the ranks of the families. And if and when the perpetrator is found, please point the police in the right direction so that they can pay for this wicked and brutal act. Yeah, man. Now over there in the troubled, violence-prone, war-torn St. Catherine North Police Division, the police say they have rescued a man who was abducted in the St. Catherine North Police Division on Thursday night. Now, 2 people were arrested and a firearm seized during that rescue operation in Tarspen, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Reports reaching on the Spot News media suggest that the operation began sometime about 10 p.m. after a report was received that a man had been kidnapped and a ransom was demanded. During the course of the operation, the police reportedly encountered armed resistance, which resulted in one of the suspects being fatally taken out by them. He has not yet been identified by the police. The police stated that they subsequently rescued the kidnapped individual and arrested 2 men in connection with the crime. The police also stated that a .38 revolver containing 5 cartridges was seized at the scene. The Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM, has been informed of the incident. Era Commander of the Police, Era 5, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffiths, has commended that a swift action of the St. Catherine North Police, saying that the team prevented a potential tragedy and demonstrated a force committed to public safety and its relentless efforts in combating crime. So I guess another decent spot of work again by the squad of them. Yeah, man. Now we're going to talk about an incident that took place over there in St. Elizabeth. That incident took place on Christmas Eve, where two criminal elements here, presently on your screen, was taken out by a licensed firearm holder. But these criminal elements are members of notorious gangs in the parish of Clarendon and has been sending out threats to police and residents living in and around the communities of Trial in St. Elizabeth. Now we're going to hear from the head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, that's Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, who says both men are from Clarendon but were suspects in several armed robberies in St. Elizabeth. So after the superintendent speaks, then of course we're going to get into the meat of the matter. Listen.
The preliminary investigations suggest that during the event, 2 armed men attempted to rob patrons at this location. They were challenged by licensed firearm holders. As a result of the shooting, 2 men were shot and killed. This community is a very quiet community, the Trial area, and the residents woke up this morning to this kind of news. And so we want to appeal to persons who wish to commit offenses in the St. Elizabeth Division to desist from doing so and to allow good order to be maintained.
Now, my peeps, make we get into the meat of the matter. Now, the 2 criminal elements will end up lose for them 3 points. They are presently on your screen. They have since been identified as Christophine Gardner, otherwise known as Sean. The name that kind of sound one certain type of way, but anyways, Christophine it is. He has said to be identified as a 32-year-old man of 7 Road in Effortville in Clarendon. And the next criminal element, MvRDA, literally speaking, has since been identified as Siobhan Hall, otherwise known as Munga, said to be 27 years old, of a Boxhaven address in Maypen, Clarendon. So on the Spot News media have received a document that suggests that intelligence have been received that members of the infamous and notorious Red Square Gang and the Outa Road Gang from Clarendon, from Maypen, Clarendon, are planning to carry out deadly attacks against police personnel residing and working in the Era 3 divisions, and also against the owners of the business establishment in which they tried to rob. So I write this and now, the criminal elements them and make we the law-abiding citizens know, say yo, a bare face, badness, a go on. Now, on Sunday, December 24th, as I stated, over there in Trial District in St. Elizabeth, 3 or 4 common criminals went to carry out a robbery at a business establishment. It is stated that a licensed firearm holder challenged the criminals, and these 2 criminal elements on your screen get clapped away. Now, since the incident, messages of threat to arm police personnel and civilians by persons associated with the deceased men and the aforementioned gang have been circulating all over social media. The 2 deceased criminal elements were always working in tandem with a 3rd criminal element. Now, the 3rd criminal element is presently on your screen. He has since been identified as Romario Knight, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Maro. Maro is said to be 25 years old and also from a Boxhaven address in Mapen, Clarendon. Now, it is stated that at the time of the robbery, Romario or Maro was at the scene but somehow managed to escape. And it is noted that all 3 men were charged jointly some time ago for several crimes and were freed from prison following some difficulties with the case. So I guess the court threw out the case in March of this year. Now, my peeps, I want to pay keen attention to this bit of information. Now, one of the deceased criminal elements, the one identified as Christophine Gardner, otherwise known as Sean, has a brother, another known criminal element identified as O'Shane Gardner, otherwise known as Chucky, who is presently incarcerated for murder. Yeah, man. It is said that his brother is closely associated with another top criminal element from Clarendon, from Mapen, Clarendon, identified as Derek Azan, otherwise known as Black Azan. Each and every one from Outa Mapen, I'm pretty sure, is familiar with that particular name. The document that I have in hand also clearly states that they are also close affiliates and associated with the likes of Adidja Palmer, otherwise known as Vibes Cartel, both of whom are incarcerated on murders and other crimes. Further information is that these persons have the potential to carry out deadly attacks on police personnel and other civilians in all 3 Era 3 divisions, that is Clarendon, Manchester and St. Elizabeth. They have several high-powered weapons under the control of the Red Square Gang and the Outer Road Gang. Additionally, they have cronies and frequent places of residence in several communities across the 3 parishes, such as Ridge, Trial, Overhill, Junction, all of which is in St. Elizabeth. And as for the parish of Clarendon, we are speaking about communities of Effortville. We are speaking about Boxhaven and Box Common. And as for the parish of Manchester, we are speaking about Allison, a community known as Hanbury, and a community known as Greenvale. The police report states that although currently no specific date, time or place of these attacks has been identified, information on the ground is that these attacks will emanate out of Clarendon and will affect personnel and persons in St. Elizabeth and also that of Manchester. But of course, the police will most definitely be paying particular attention to high-risk targets in the parish of St. Elizabeth, as this is where the criminal elements had previously carried out some of their most daring robberies and where they ultimately met their demise. Now, the police is saying this to their own and is also saying this to we, the general public. So for those who never hear, now no hear. So all we have to do I just put the necessary precautions in place and be safe whilst we are travel pan gravel. Yeah, man. Now, the last thing that we are going to talk about is the knockings and clappings that took place over there in Bobman Hill in Lilliput, St. James. Now, the recipient of about 10 can, may I tell you, the man them deal with the situation, grimy, is this brother here presently on your screen, identified as 34-year-old Davian England, otherwise known as Elcor. Yeah, man, the man them deal with him grimy. It is said that Elcor was sitting on his veranda when criminal elements pull upon him and engage in a brief conversation before wheeling off and popping off them chops and just start knock it and clap it all over his upper body and head, leaving him lifeless. Now on the Spot News Media is not for sure if this brother here, Elcor, is a criminal element, but we'll most definitely be staying on this one and update you in subsequent newscast. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to give you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.